by the time I started the juice fast, I was 172. And then by the time I finished, I was 148. I hadn't seen the 140 since I was probably like in my 20s. As my weight is down and the fibroids have shrank a little bit, I know my levels are up, because if they weren't up, my hair wouldn't be growing back. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I know for sure. I have physical signs that I know it's better.
Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching The Healthy Alternative. Today we have a very special guest. Jenny is with us, and Jenny she's actually been in the group for a very long time. Dare I say, maybe one of the AHA OGs.
I am an OG.
So I'm extremely excited to dig into your history a little bit, your journey, and unpack everything, because I remember when I very first met you through the group.
Yeah.
And I know it's been so long. And then when you hit me up and you were like, Chris, I'm ready to do my interview, I'm like, what? I was like, I was so shocked, but excited. So if you guys are interested in seeing her journey or hearing about her journey, stay tuned. That's coming up next. All right, Jenny. So
yes,
first thing I want to do is figure out, like, how long have you actually been a part of the group? So, like, when did you join AHA?
Oh man, I probably joined over, I feel like I could say like 5-ish or more. Like, how, because it's been a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even have long locks at that time.
No, I think I just had the little afro or whatever.
Yeah. It was very, very beginnings. I was always on board and supportive of what you were doing from the very beginning. It was just that I felt at the time, even though I wanted to be healthy, and it's like, I believe in the benefits. I believe, Chris, I believe. Like, I would try and then fail. I was like, I don't know, but I wanted to stay in it because I just felt like I can't give up completely. I need to stay in it. I need to stay within this community, even if I have to pick it back up at a later time. But I don't want to get out of the loop, because I really believe in what's happening. But I've been in it for a very long time. I just couldn't get it going. I don't know how y'all were doing it.
That's incredible. I did I think I did a live stream last week or maybe the week before, and I was telling people, I was like, it was our premium accountability group. And I was talking about how a lot of times people feel like they got to get ready to go to church. Like, you have to basically clean up your life before you can go to church, before you could go to God, right? It's kind of like that, where when people have joined the group and then they fall off, they can't do the fasting or whatever the case is, they feel like ashamed, and then they want to leave, and they want to try to fix themselves and then come back when they're fixed. And it's like, no, that's the whole point of the group. So for you to still be here and just stay tuned in, that's exactly what I told them to do. I was like, don't run away, just stay tuned in.
I learned, and it kept me motivated. And so it was like, all right, I'm gonna get it eventually. And what ended up happening was just like, you hit that, I guess, that rock bottom when you're like, all right, I just got to now. There's no other option. There's no other option to work at this point.
Rock bottom is a beautiful place, because you have nowhere to go but up. We just talked about this yesterday on our live.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Jazz, right? As you and Steven. Yes, it was awesome. 3 skills.
The 3 skills. It's funny because, like, we were before we did the call, I was like, all right, y'all, what we gonna talk about? And Steve laughed, and Jasmine had like notes that she had put down. And we were just going over. I said, let's talk about, what you want to do? Weight loss? You want to talk about, skills? She was like, well, I want to talk about focus. I said, okay, what is focus? We were like, focus is like a trait. It's like a skill. And so I was like, okay, well, let's each do one skill. And that's how that came about.
And they were all very beneficial, and I feel like very imperative to this journey, because you experience so many different emotions going through it that you really do need each one, and you need to be in each one of those skills so strongly to maintain throughout the journey, because it's so many mental gymnastics that you're going to have to fight through. So you need your focus, you need your decision making, like, you really do need all of them.
Mm-hmm.
and to reinforce it each and every day, multiple times throughout the day, just to get through.
Yeah,
It was tough.
absolutely.
It was tough.
We had a lot of fun. So back to you.
Yes.
I want to know what was it that what drew you to AHA in the first place? Like, why did you, why did you find us?
Well, because I always kind of had like that weight battle kind of with most people. And for me, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any recreational anything. My vices have always been coffee and food. That's
Mm,
it. So I always knew that I was kind of like an emotional eater or a boredom eater, a
yeah.
party eating eater, anything evolved around food. That's where I am. I don't even have to be hungry. I can see it just because you have it. And then now I want some. Like, and so it's always gave me like this weight battle. And
Mm,
somehow researching and then came across your Facebook group first. And I was like, okay, this does seem like a good way to improve health and lose weight quick because we're in an instant gratification society. So we like immediate results,
oh
but
yeah.
immediate results that also can provide health benefits, but then just kind of teach you a better lifestyle. So I liked all three of those. My problem was is trying to stay committed to training myself to not eating throughout the day because it's so hard to break habits. So I remember at that time you're a little more easily accessible, because again I'm an OG. I've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Um, and you told me to do like a 10-day water fast, and I swear I tried. I think I made it probably like 7 days, and I lost 7 pounds, but I then went right back to just my old habits, and
Right.
so that battle, that weight battle all over again. And so then I just felt like, I'm gonna stay in the group, but let me just stop because everybody else going hard. You see somebody, they do 23 days, and you're like, I couldn't do two.
Yeah. Well,
So
what's funny is I've actually, because like obviously, yeah, you were at basically at the beginning. So now we have our challenges, and I've developed like procedures, the preparation, the refeed, and like
yes,
so many things that I didn't
have back
know
then.
to teach. Right. Yeah. Like I was learning so much.
Yeah,
I remember, I think this is before I actually built AHA. Me and John were talking about refeed,
yeah,
and he was like saying something like, yeah, I'm a refeed. And I'm like, refeed, what is that?
right.
Like I was
Yeah,
like, I didn't know what that was. And so just this journey of learning fasting myself and then learning, oh, I don't know what refeed. They don't know what refeed is. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Like,
right.
so it's just been a journey. But
Yeah,
so
it's
now that
but that's also what helped me this time around, is the newer additions to refeed with your story and even Steven's story, because it made me throughout the journey then kind of focus on what's going to happen post, because you know how people are like, oh, once you finish you're just going to gain it all back, and who wants to do that? So
right.
you know key topics were very important, and also the rolling 72s because we didn't have that back then. And then even the juicing aspect of it we didn't have back then. We only focused more on water, but I knew that a healthy alternative was overall trying to give alternatives,
Hmm.
and of the alternatives, so it was a little easier to kind of
Yeah.
do this. Yeah,
That's good. That's good feedback because okay, so back then I was more of a purist, and
mm-hmm.
because like my thinking back then, I was like, this is the best way to do it.
Yeah,
But what I realized was if people can't do it the best way, they're not getting any benefit. So
yeah,
by introducing the juice fasting, and even I even started talking about dry fasting a few years,
right,
into it, and just give people different options, and then just see what works for people. And then when
right,
we did our 21-day challenge, that was huge. It's a huge success. And then I was like, I wonder if we could do something more entry level, because a lot of people like you might not be like, yeah, I want to do the 21 day, you know
yeah,
but if I say it's a R72, you're like, oh, I could do 3 days,
yes.
you know? So is that what okay, well first, I guess forget it. Is that
Oh,
what got you like I want to talk about like the all the issues and everything that you
yeah,
had, but I
uh-huh.
also want to talk about how you were able to get over that hurdle and start fasting and start getting your results. So
because because
go ahead.
that's what it I saw that you guys gave me, more options, and that I could take the pressure off of myself by not focusing on being a purist, but focusing on self-assessing and knowing what's going to help me be the most successful on this journey. And I knew that for me, I'm going to need a little something more than water, and not just because of habit and flavor, but because of some of the health issues, I was like, I'm already kind of vitamin deficient severely, so I don't want to just strip it away when I just kind of got all my levels kind of back together. But then also yeah, some too habits. I know I like coffee in the morning, but there are a lot of people that are like, don't want to do, it'll deter them because they know that they typically couldn't have coffee. So I wanted to customize my journey, and I felt less pressure to be the purist this time around because of all of the changes, that I could customize my journey to make me the most successful. And so that's what helped me tackle it a little more, because I knew I could customize it. I knew that, you know what, a little coffee with cream is better than having that McDonald's bacon, egg, and cheese bagel. You know what I mean? And I knew that if I start getting weak, a little cup of vegetable broth is a little better than going to get these French fries I really want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So myself that grace to
Mm.
customize my journey my way, and knowing that it's okay, is what helped me.
That's good. That is such good feedback for me, because like you have no idea. Me and Steve and Shell will be talking, like I get frustrated because I'm like, I gotta figure a way to like help more people be successful. And
Mm-hmm.
they'll be like, Chris, like you can't, there's not, you can't do it. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I can figure it out. Like
You want to
there
be there like, yeah, yeah,
there has to be a better way. And I
yeah,
was really excited about the R72 as well as the JR72,
yeah.
which did you do the JR72? Because you mentioned the juice or what?
I did completely just 30 days straight. I missed the RJ 72 like sign up period. So
Okay.
I didn't catch you guys in enough time to kind of start with
Okay.
you all. So I just did like my own 30-day, but I kept being motivated because I was in the group seeing their stuff in the app, the Facebook group, and I was seeing everyone else. So it's like, all right, we're kind of all still juicing at the same time. So it
Yeah.
helps. You have a community in the same struggle, you know?
Mhm. That's that's why I love the so we host, just for those who don't know, we host our challenges on the AHA communities. So that's a separate group from our Facebook group. So anytime, like if somebody wants to do their own challenge or their own doing their own fasting, that's like a better place to be, to stay locked in, and because but Facebook group, people are always fasting and stuff on the Facebook group too. So
Definitely.
they're both
But
good.
part of it's fun being a part of both,
Yeah,
the
for
app,
sure.
Facebook group.
Okay, so let's back up a little bit because I'm getting myself excited. Because
Okay.
you gotta understand, like from my point of view, like if you can understand, we were talking and I was trying to give you advice and it didn't work. And it
Yeah.
gets me frustrated because I'm like, the whole reason why I created this brand was to help people. So if
Yeah.
I'm not able to help someone, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? It kind of
Yeah.
makes me, and then for you to come back and be like, yo, I did it. It's just you don't understand. So I'm a little excited. So
And I have to let you know that it wasn't that you didn't help. You led me to the river. You know what I mean? I just was trying to drink and I couldn't. You know what I mean? Like, so
yeah.
you did everything within your ability to do. And so I just want you to know that even at that time, my frustration was more so with myself. Like, why can't I do this?
Hmm.
Why can't I break this like binging or whatever? Like, why can't I do this? Why is it so hard? So, you are and were helpful at that time, and you did everything in your ability that you could do. The rest we just have to do by ourselves.
Right.
And
That's what Steve and Shelby
take that,
saying.
yeah, you can't take that on. That's just us. We got to do it.
All right, so I appreciate that. What were the issues you were dealing with? Like I know you mentioned weight. Like, what
Yeah.
was your, let's kind of dig into those details a little bit.
Yeah. So what was happening was I kept putting on weight because as I said, I'm an emotional eater. So at the time, we're dealing with like pandemic issues, and the stuff that brings the changes of the jobs or uncertainty of the jobs, financial stuff. And then also, I'm dealing with I have two family members who are dealing with like cancers and stuff. So
Mm.
everything just seems like it's just weighing so heavy. And again, my only vices are it's food and caffeine. So all I'm doing all day is just all day and night just eating constantly. And I know people don't even, you think like, oh, she may eat a little bit. Like, no, I'm talking full on. I would go to the grocery store on Friday, to do your week haul. By like Sunday night, all that food is gone. Like it's
Wow.
gone. Because
Yeah.
all of Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, I've eaten everything, everything
Mm.
that I have to go shopping all over again. And I'm still like Uber Eats and DoorDash in between all of that. You know what I mean? Like I was knocking back like that. I should have been way bigger than what I was, but
Uh-huh.
I a lot. And then because I was eating a lot, it was making other things worse. So I end up developing like three fibroids. And one was the size of the doctor said if I was basically 21 weeks pregnant. And
Wow.
yeah. And so in one of the pictures I sent, like you can kind of see like my belly, but I didn't take a lot of pictures because I hated looking at myself. But you can see that the right side of my stomach, even though a lot of it was belly fat, the right side stuck out so much more because of that fibroid. So I
Wow.
looked like a lopsided pregnant person. You know what I
Wow.
mean? Yeah, because it just made it grow. Like everything I was eating just made it just grow. And then because of that, now it's pulling on all of my blood sources,
Mm.
like so my
Yeah, because they
iron.
siphon off blood, those
Yeah,
fibroids. Yeah.
yeah. So now like my blood and everything's so low that I'm rushed to the ER for a blood transfusion. And my hair
Wow.
falling out and changing and then like periods are so heavy to where I'm literally wearing Depends and I'm soaking through them. You know what I mean? Like it was crazy. It was just I felt awful. And you would think that even dealing with all of that, I would stop eating, but I couldn't.
Mm.
I really couldn't. And I would try. I would so try. And the only thing, and this is sad, the only thing that really got it together was going to get my new ID picture. And when I saw, because again, I wouldn't look at myself, I wouldn't even take pictures. Like I knew I was big. I don't even be looking in the mirror.
Right.
But when I saw that ID picture, it made me so mad. It was the vanity. It wasn't even the health that got me together. I was like, oh, well, gotta buy some Depends. It'd be like that. You know what I mean?
That,
Hair style, okay, whatever. Saw that ID picture, and I was like, oh, no, 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 no. I look nothing like myself.
yeah.
Nothing. I hated it. I didn't even want to be seen. You would have thought that I'd seen like what's the drug dealer name like Chapo or something. You'd have thought I witnessed the crime the way I put myself in like isolation. Like
Yeah.
I was in my protection program. I wouldn't even let anyone see me if I didn't have to. If I didn't have to go somewhere, I was not going. None of my friends would see me. They try to check on me because now they haven't heard from me and I'm not hanging out. But I could not stomach even being seen
Wow.
public. My mind is projecting like I know they see how awful I look like, so I couldn't. It was the vanity that really
Mm.
got together because I did not like not looking like myself and I did not like not feeling like myself.
Yeah. That's actually, you actually would be surprised at how many people make the change for that reason.
Yeah.
I've had I've had a handful of people tell me, Chris, I didn't like the way I looked. Or like the thing, it was the thing that triggered it was a picture. So
Yeah.
it's super common that people avoid pictures and video and stuff when they're overweight, like, and they don't
Right.
like their body. What'll
Right.
happen is there'll be an event, that one event, and someone takes a candid picture and it gets back to them and they get to see themselves for the first time in a long time because they'll
Mm-hmm.
avoid mirrors and everything. And then they're
Yes.
like, oh my God.
That's exactly had that ID not need to be renewed. I was hot when I tell you I was so mad at that photo because I was the same way. I didn't look at myself. I didn't take any pictures. If I got in the elevator and there was a mirror in the back, I immediately looked down. There was no need for me to look. And turned my back, hit my button. I avoided looking at myself at all costs. So when I saw
Wow.
that picture and just how big and not like myself, oh man, like the level of depression and anger like simultaneously like sent me over. But then even then I didn't jump right into fasting. I was like, oh, you got to start working out, because again, my habit is food. I want to eat, but it's like, you know what? I'm gonna get up and work out. So I gave myself my first 30-day challenge. I gave myself, I'm gonna work out every day. And I don't mean like an old little brisk walk. I mean, I'm getting up, hustling like every day, kickboxing, doing my thing. And then at the end of that 30 days, you know how much I lost?
2 pounds.
Not one damn pound. I was hot.
Oh, I was trying to give you a couple pounds.
And so that's what really kicked. It's like you're gonna have to break the food habit, because the saying that they have, like, you can't outwork out a bad diet, is like, it's really true. And now I know, because I've wasted 30 days thinking I mean, shirt soaked with sweat, thinking I'm doing it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
not one, no, not one.
that's rough.
Oh man. And so so I was so mad. So then that's like, you're really gonna have to work on the eating habits. Now, how am I gonna break it? Because to me, in my mind, I was cutting back. You know what I mean? I wasn't eating all my 3 meals. I'm eating one. Now, in that one still might be 2,500, but it was down to one. You know what I
Right.
mean? But
Right.
it wasn't working. So my cutback wasn't working. And then now again, I've wasted 30 days. So I want something quick, but I want something quick and healthy, and then that I can maintain. And the only thing I could think was to come back to AHA. You know, like, this is what I gotta do. And
Hey.
that's the only thing I could think of. And so I saw the juice fasting going on. It's like, let's try that. So then I knew that I didn't want to like physically go do the grocery haul, come back, do the juicing. Like, again, I self-assessed what's gonna set me up best for
Mm-hmm.
this journey. And that's gonna be simplicity and convenience and customization. So I knew, all right, I know a lot of people are against, caffeine on their fast. I don't care. I'm gonna have my coffee in the morning, because if not, I'm gonna have a cupcake. So let's so I'm gonna just have my coffee. And then the deli across the street from me started fresh pressing their juices. Now they don't do mixed ones, but they'll do like the single fruit. So
Yeah.
they'll do, sometimes the pineapple or cantaloupe or watermelon, honeydew, like whatever they feel like doing.
Mm-hmm.
And this, you could get two for $6, and they were like 12 ounces too. Like, you know,
Wow.
yeah, right. So I was like, oh, the Lord is with me. No, no, I needed this help. You do it. It just,
Literally.
yes, it just like the divine confirmation to be like, here, let me help you. Because then it's right across the street. That place wasn't selling juices before I started talking about this. That's where I got all my junk food and whatever from.
Right.
And my cheesecake. And then all of a sudden, when this happened, now y'all juicing? Really?
No
So
coincidence.
yes. So I just felt like it was such divine confirmation that this is the route that I need to do. So I decided, as Steven said, I made a decision. I was going to do the 30 days. They're right across the street. There are no excuses. And that's where I get my morning coffee anyway. So I just get up in the morning, go get my coffee, see which juices I want, go about my day. And that's how it started. And then toward the end of the day, when I feel like, well, Lord, I would like some French fries, you know what I mean? I would then switch over to like just heating some vegetable broth, because then I wanted something savory in my mouth.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I had to customize it to where I could tackle everything that I knew I would probably need: my caffeine, my salt to a certain extent, and then my nutrition. And that's kind of what kept me going.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. You know what? I want to make sure people understand, because like you've mentioned several times that you basically customized your fast. And
Mm-hmm.
I have said it out of my mouth many times at this point. I'm like, look, you know, when I talk, we're talking to tens of thousands of people.
Yeah.
It's general information. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Take what makes sense, what resonates with you, and then
Mm-hmm.
and apply it and customize it, build your own thing. Because like you said, the coffee is better than the cupcake. The juice is better than the French fries or whatever. Like
Yeah.
you're going to make progress,
Yes.
you know? And I got a business partner. He'd be like, better is better, Chris. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I love that saying
Yeah.
because we hype ourselves up on this stuff. We'll see, interviews with Chris. Oh, he lost 100 pounds in 3 months. And we think we have to do it like that. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, that just worked for that person. Like, figure out what's going to work for you.
Yes. And I think that sometimes it's, and even myself included early on, I feel like a lot of times that's what set me up to fail, was not just taking motivation and tips from someone else's journey, but trying to mimic their
Yeah.
journey. And
Mm-hmm.
that's not going to work for me, because as much as pretty as it looks to see someone's fresh vegetables all over their table and they're freshly juiced, I don't want to do that.
See?
That's make me quit if I know that store every other day to round up all this produce, come home, juice it, then have a little juice, bottle up my juice, pack up my juice, clean up like eight. I'm going to quit. I know that. I know me. I'm going to quit. So I knew, and even when I post different things, some people like, oh, it'll be cheaper to just like do your own. It's like, I don't need cheap. I need what's gonna make me successful. I
Yeah.
care about money. But it's the dollars I spend will be worth my happiness, and my success. So I don't care about cheap. And
Mm.
I'm a type of person, like, I will pay for convenience. If there's a bookshelf and you have a service, I'm gonna pay you to do it because I don't want to do it. I don't want to do
Yeah.
it. I'm a pay for convenience person. So I know that about my personality. So I knew that I would need the juices done for me. Now, I didn't know if I was going to have to order online, because I was looking around. I was looking around at Arden's Garden, um, Juicery, Press. I was looking at a lot of different places online. But then again, the place across the street just randomly started doing juices. So it's like, nah, here we go. Perfect. Even
And
more
you was
convenient.
buying up all they juices.
I mean, to the point where they start asking, you know, get juice today? Well, I got like 8 yesterday, guys. I'm still kind of working through those. Like, I mean, to the point that they knew, exactly what I was coming in for. I was getting my coffee and I was gonna load up on some juices, mostly pineapple and watermelon, and sometimes
Oh,
the honeydew wasn't as great. But
yeah.
yeah,
It depends. Honeydew, sometimes with honeydew and melon, like if they're just not, if they don't grow long enough, they don't get sweet enough, they're just kind of
yeah,
yeah.
the one that. Oh no, and it's crazy because I expected to like the honeydew more than I did the cantaloupe, but I was knocking those cantaloupes back. That honeydew, I was like, no, I ain't just got to have that one again. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I
yeah, a
I
lot of pressure.
I love it. I love, like, okay, so even when you think about it, like if you looked at the math, because it sounds expensive, but how much was it? How much were we spending on groceries and DoorDash? You know what I mean?
Oh,
So,
and I'm not like, I can guarantee you I was going through just with DoorDash. If we even go with just DoorDash alone, we're not going to even go with any of my other coffee purchases, any of my snack purchases, or any of my other real time grocery store purchases. Just
mhm,
DoorDash in one week, I can guarantee you I was close to $200 because I was eating multiple times a day, and that's
right.
about like dollars a rip
Yeah.
minimum. So I mean, to the point that I got the VIP. If I complained about anything, they reimbursing me for everything, because they get so much money out of me that they're not even going to like dispute anything I say. Like,
Right.
I gave them so much money, so much money. Yes, and
Yeah.
I order the same meal again within the day because it was just so good earlier that I was like, I could go for another Italian beef and fries, and I would order another one
Wow.
in the same day.
See? That you and you're not the only one. You know what I'm saying? Like we're a lot of us are out here doing that. And
Yep.
then it's so crazy because as soon as you change your habits, then somebody talk about they want to point out all the reasons why what you're doing is like the
It's
wrong thing.
territory. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
nobody says anything when we're eating 2, 3 double cheeseburgers a day, like drinking a
Oh,
2 liter of soda.
let me tell you, one day I ate 4 quarter pounders and 2 large fries in one sitting for one day. And that was not my only meal for the day. That was just I think that was just my dinner that day.
I can't even eat. Well, even definitely now. I had a
Yes.
friend. I had a friend. I have a friend. He's
Uh-huh.
like homeboy, from back in the day, and
Yeah.
he loves Whoppers.
Yeah.
Like, so he loves Whoppers, and I think that he would do stuff like that. He eat like 3 or 4 Whoppers. I could
Yeah.
never eat that many
Oh,
Whoppers.
knock it back. And my addiction was so bad that there was a homeless dude sitting out front, and I'm a giver, but I'm more of a giver of money. When it comes to my food, it's. I mean, I was fighting myself at the register, like, Jennifer, you better offer him one of these burgers when you go outside. Like, I'm really fighting. I haven't even gotten the bag yet, and I'm fighting. Like, you better not walk past that man and not offer him. You have four because they were 2 for $5, and I
Yeah.
was and I was really fighting myself. That when I came out, it was the sorriest, like, "Hey, are you hungry?" And he was like, "No, no, I'm okay." I was like, "Okay," and ran out.
Let me get out of here.
One of those burgers. I ran out so quick. Like, oh my God. That it's so bad. It's bad. I mean, I was even having, like, my other sweet tooth was like cheesecake. So I would have like breakfast cheesecake, but not like, oh, I'm just gonna have 2 slices of cheesecake for breakfast. No, I mean, I'll have like my breakfast skillet, but then I'll have like my breakfast dessert cheesecake after it.
Wow.
And then do the same thing for dinner. I had like my dinner, and then I gotta have like my dinner slices of cheesecake. So I was knocking back whole cheesecakes too, in addition to like my food.
And cheesecake is very dense. You know what I
Oh,
mean? It's because it's like it's a piece of pie. No, like that stuff is super dense. It's like pound cake,
oh,
you
and
know?
I wasn't even really like 2 slices per meal. Like I don't mean a piece. I was knocking back whole cheesecakes
Wow.
by myself in a day.
So you did the juice for a
Mm-hmm.
month, for 30
Yeah.
days.
Yep.
What has been the result of doing that? Like, what has been the benefit of doing that for you?
Well, of course, the weight loss itself was 23 pounds. So I went from my highest weight was 177. By the time I started my juice fast, I was at 172. How I lost those 2 pounds, I don't know. I probably just didn't overeat one day. I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah.
Um, but by the time I started the juice fast, I was 172. And then by the time I finished, I was 148. I hadn't seen the 140 since I was probably like in my 20s. I'm 40 now. You know what I
Mm.
mean? I hadn't seen the
And,
140 in
and
a very long
I
time.
I I did not know you was 40. I thought you was younger. I thought you
No,
were Yeah,
Forty.
I thought you were when I originally met you, I thought you were younger than me.
Really?
Yeah,
No,
I just always assumed you were younger. Like I thought in my head I remember thinking, "Oh, she's probably like 26 or something." I didn't know.
no.
Yeah.
Well, well into my 30s. Yep. So now I'm 40. I'll be 41 this year. And I'm like, okay, you just can't be out here being just unfit, fat, and in your 40s. Like, you gotta, as I was saying the other day, we gotta represent for the aunties. Like, my nieces are like 27 and all this stuff. I got to look good. I want to be the fine auntie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want when my nephew's like, that's my auntie, the boys are like, damn, like, I need that. That's what I want.
Yeah. That's what you want. Yeah.
So
So,
yeah, that was the first thing. But
okay.
then, throughout that time, getting my cycle and everything, I noticed how it was lighter. So before, how I was saying, like, I was soaked through like the pens and stuff. I think I wouldn't even call it a flood day, but I would say I had like maybe one kind of flood day, which is good for what usually happens for me. And
Right.
this one much better. It was like,
Mm.
is it gonna come or not? Oh, like, this must be normal one is like, it. So it changed that dramatically too. And I like before I told you the fibroid, because it was so big, it was like as if I was 21 weeks pregnant or whatever. I
Mm.
could actually feel it. Like, I could be like, Chris, touch right here, and you would be able to feel it.
Right.
But like now you actually have to kind of like, oh, I guess it's still there, because it's not as big as it was. So because it wasn't feeding on anything, it's
Mhm.
now smaller. So that was really good too. And
Yeah.
yeah, and then the because of it, my hair and stuff was thinning. But the reason I got my headband on is because now like my real afro texture is growing out, so I kind of had to slick, kind of slick it.
Okay.
So
That's
because it's
good though.
exactly. It's like a good bad problem, you know?
Yeah.
So growing back out the way that it should instead of being kind of thin and weird, it's now growing back out full and thick and healthy the way it was before. So there's like so many, non-scale victories that have been taking place that
Mm.
I'm grateful for that I didn't expect. Because again, I didn't start I started because of vanity, but all of these other side effects, are well worth it too, that I'm happy about.
It is, oh, so exciting. So exciting. It's like the quality of life
So
now
much.
versus, you know,
Oh, tell me nothing now. I done skipped out in like my boots and fishnets like twice, at least twice. Like, okay, because usually I look homeless, but I sprinted up a couple times last week. So I was feeling pretty good,
yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
it feels good to just feel good again.
Mhm.
And I feel like again that's a non-scale victory, but it's so worth it to just want to feel better and feel good and just be happy about life and not wanting to hide from everybody all the time.
Right. I mean, the weight loss is always great, but
Right.
those non-scale victories, in my opinion, have always trumped the weight loss. But the weight loss is like that's what's exciting. That's like the motivator. Because
Yeah.
what's crazy is, what if you would have still been petite with all those
Uh,
problems?
and
You know?
I wouldn't, yeah, I wouldn't have cared. I'd have probably had to be on my sick bed, to be honest with you, in
Yeah.
order to then come back if the vanity hadn't taken place. So
Yeah.
that could have been like a divine alignment in itself. Like, let me hit what's going to really make her focus on her health.
Right.
Otherwise, by the time she's 45, this is going to get way worse.
Mhm.
And the crazy thing is too is when I was on this journey again, you talk the mental gymnastics you're gonna have to deal with because hunger wasn't even my problem after a while. It really was just fighting myself in habits because I just wanted it. I wasn't
Right.
hungry. I wasn't hungry at all. Like I mean, after like day 2 or 3, and you realize like, I've made it. Your
Yeah.
stomach is fine. It's just seeing everybody else walk by with their Taco Bell or on Instagram, and now somebody want to do a food post, or you're just thinking about all the food you want. Like it's your own mental gymnastics that starts to be the hard part at that point. Just
Mm.
thinking. So I started writing down a list of all the things I was gonna eat. Like when I finished day. And then the crazy thing is I would still watch your videos and everyone's videos throughout it to keep me motivated. But as I was doing that and still writing my food wish list on the side, the wish list started to change because I'm listening to, you guys talk about plant-based and refeeding and the importance of this and what you're putting in your body. And then it's like, oh, well, they making my steak sound real. Well, why we gotta call it that, guys? you know, slowly then the idea of being more plant-based started to not only make more sense but become more appealing because it's like, well, I mean, if you're gonna put it like I got dead animal flesh in my stomach, that I'm too good.
Right. Yeah.
So it started those things that I didn't expect to change, but it did. I didn't expect to be like plant-based or even contemplate veganism or anything like that throughout it. I just wanted to lose and then monitor how I eat on the way, post fast. I didn't expect the whole transformation of diet and nutrition.
Mhm.
That part was very unexpected to me. But I think also the benefit of staying in tune with the community and watching all the interviews and different things, and not only the interviews but even just when you do your solo things or just you and Steve, it's so important because you talk specifically about the importance of changing that lifestyle after the fast and after the challenges, because that's
Right.
really real hard work is going to begin.
That exactly. Yeah. It's funny because it's what I'm learning more and more is you just got to get people going. You got to get them
Yeah,
going. They got to get their little rhythm. They got to get their regiment to go,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because then the process kind of takes over, and you
yeah,
don't have to convince people to change their diet or do this and that. They naturally start wanting to do it.
yes,
That's exactly what happened to me. Like when I started my journey, I wasn't gonna go plant based. That was nowhere near my mindset. I was because
Oh,
I did a vegan month or a vegetarian month, and I was like,
okay.
I'm always gonna have a little bit of meat,
Right.
you know. But it was through the process of fasting and stuff, and I just started to like feel so good, and I started to think differently. I was like, you know what? I don't want to be. I don't really want to eat meat anymore. I don't think
Yeah.
I, you
I'm
know.
telling you, don't make it sound so disgusting. You know, like so. But I was the same way because I told you I was writing my wish list. So my all the food I was gonna have when I come off. But just listening to you all, your journeys, especially Steve's journey with regaining and then having to lose again.
Yeah.
And I could see myself doing that. I could see myself falling back into the trap and I didn't want to. And
Mm,
so, knowing that a part of his was being plant-based as well, it's like, okay, well, let me try it. Let me start Google, YouTubing easy plant-based meals and stuff like that, just so I can kind of have an idea when I come off what I should be eating. And the crazy thing is it's actually some pretty tasty things, like that people can do with jackfruit and mushrooms and all this other stuff that I
yeah.
never thought about, even making your favorite meat meals into plant-based versions or vegan versions of them. So it's actually made me be in my kitchen a lot more.
Hmm.
um and I never thought that would be me either because I'm a convenient person. I don't be in the kitchen, but
Yeah.
it's actually been pretty good. Sometimes I've never been so excited to have like a stir fry.
Yeah.
It's a stir. You know what I mean? But it's
Yeah.
so good. So that part was so unexpected because you couldn't tell me I wasn't gonna run and get me like an Italian. I'm from Chicago, so you like the first thing I was thinking about was an Italian beef dipped cheese, like hot peppers,
Mm.
like that. I was thinking about. Haven't had it. Haven't had it.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is that is incredible because like that monster that you're fighting, that food addiction, right?
Yeah.
'Cause don't
Hey,
nobody
that
really they don't talk about food addiction, but it's a real thing.
it
Um,
is, and
being
it's a
able to go ahead.
like I addicted to something even stronger because if I'm having this hard of a time just fighting a chicken wing, like I don't want to know what it's like to really have some sort of substance issue because this is hard
Mm,
because coping mechanism. It's all I'm used to for
right,
years.
right. How long has it been since you came off your fast?
I think it's only been like two and a half maybe weeks maybe ish.
Okay.
I feel
Okay.
like solid maybe a solid two-ish. So the first week only did like just vegetables anyway, just raw vegetables. But
Okay.
then after that, I started getting into like the stir fries and the different things for stir fries because also again trying to stay away from dairy stuff too because with fibroid dairy or anything with like estrogen or anything that affects the estrogen it messes you up anyway. And I
Right.
realized of the success with having it kind of shrink was because I didn't have any of that stuff. So I'm still trying to stay very much away from dairy. And then also because dairy is linked to so many cancers, and I have family members fighting cancers, which is what some of the things that was making me so sad and eating and then keeping me into this cycle.
Right.
So, I'm trying to stay away from like dairy too, which vegan pesto and vegan cheeses aren't really that bad. They've made some great changes to a
Right.
lot of the vegan products and dairy soy free products.
Hmm.
So it's been good trying different things so far.
Have you considered any raw food? Like, have you even thought about it?
Yes. And the time that I tried the raw food, I was like, I gotta dip this in some hummus or something. Like it was just so much roughage. I was like, I need
uh,
some sauce or something to go on this. So I don't really know how to do the raw food part just yet.
uh, well,
But I've
I I asked because like I'm almost certain Chicago has like some pretty good raw food restaurants.
We do. I know one of the popular ones back in the day was I think named Karen's, and she just opened something new out in one of the suburbs here that I haven't been to yet.
Okay.
'Cause like a raw foodist, I want to say for like 50 years or something, because I think she's like 70 or something like that, and she looks really really good. So I know she has a couple that I haven't tried just yet, but I do have a couple on my list that I want to get just to get ideas
Right.
and what I can and can't do, to expose me to different things basically.
That's all I wanted you to do. I just wanted you to get because well, first of all, like when okay, you say that the food, the plant-based eating is pretty good, right? Raw food is even better. But it's got to be done right.
Okay.
It's got to be. But no, I'm telling you, like it's better. I went to this restaurant in LA. I
Uh-huh,
can never remember the name of it, but they have this stuff called peace pasta, which is
uh-huh.
a raw pasta made with like kelp noodles, and they have this sauce and stuff that goes on it. But like
And it
with
was
raw, you can still warm the food. You just don't heat it over like 115 degrees.
got
So
it.
it's
Okay.
it's still super savory and warm and comforting or whatever.
Okay.
And the kelp noodles taste like noodles, like pasta noodles. They
Oh,
remind me of
okay.
angel hair.
See, I
So
didn't know when people said raw, like they really just meant I'm just eating completely like just this cold bowl of cabbage or something. Like
right,
I don't
right, yeah. No, that's what everybody thinks. That's what I thought, at first. So I
yeah,
exposed myself. I would go to like different restaurants. See, here in Dallas, we used to have a raw restaurant. It's gone. We don't have any. So
okay.
we have none. But I
Yeah.
got the exposure and I got to see how they put the food together, and it just gave me something to
Yeah.
think about. So
Yeah.
uh,
No, I'm that and I do know that we do have a couple here. And we also have a new kind of like vegan raw market opening, I think October 5th. And so I'm excited about that one too.
y'all are lucky, man.
Where
Y'all
are you? Have all this
Dallas.
stuff?
I'm
Oh,
in
okay.
I'm in Cowtown. They
Oh
don't do
yeah,
that raw. They do
hearty
not
pork.
do that raw stuff out here.
Yeah, some good hearty portions of steak and potatoes. My that's yeah, the good old days.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm assuming I mean I'm just curious like you haven't been back to your doctor yet, huh?
No, not yet, but I would like to know like how just the size of them now because again, like I would even tell people I would let them like poke my stomach just so they can see. They're like, "What is that?" Like, it's a fibroid. Feel it. You can feel it,
Yeah.
And I'd let them because it was so hard. It really did feel like a fetus or something right there. It was just that
Yeah.
hard. But now I have to like, kind of like feel around to
Search
get it.
for it. Yeah.
Mhm. So
And you
I went
did that in 30 days.
30 days of just like juicing. And I honestly thought the coffee, because they say coffee can mess with your estrogen as well. So I honestly thought, like, if anything, like, the coffee's probably going to derail this fibroid situation. But it didn't. Because I didn't want to sacrifice it. Because I like, if you don't have coffee, you're going to punch somebody in the face. You need at least to have some coffee in your life on a juice fast.
Yeah. That's incredible. Like, the thing is, and I try to teach this too. It's not about being perfect. It's not about doing everything 100% right. If you
Yeah.
do right more often than you do wrong, you'll get benefits because the
Yeah.
body is designed to deal with a certain level of toxicity, and it can process out certain stuff. Plus,
Very.
when you have things like coffee and stuff like that, I mean, you can get a really high quality coffee that is
Yeah.
not nearly as bad for you as Starbucks. You know what I
True.
mean? Like,
In it, so it was still no calories, but man, I knew I at least needed that to get going. Like, so
you know what? I'm just curious because okay, I'm gonna keep it 100%. I don't drink coffee, and you
uh,
probably already know that I'm not a fan of coffee. But
yes,
one of our affiliate partners they created a coffee, and
uh-huh,
I've never promoted it because I don't drink coffee.
yeah,
Um, but it's the Root Wellness brand, and it's a nutraceutical brand. And
uh-huh,
I know that the way they source their raw materials, like their raw materials are top notch. She's
yeah,
super picky. So
yeah.
I've always wanted to just get like an opinion about it so that I can
Oh,
at least suggest it as an alternative.
send
So
it to me. Give me
I,
a link. Try it.
I'm
I'll try it.
yeah, I want you to try it, and I want because you love coffee. Give me your
I,
opinion about it.
I really, really do. I mean, even to the point where I've been looking at. There's an alkaline store here, black owned, called Alkaline Healing or Herb. I'm gonna have to figure it out. But they have a mushroom like tea or something that's supposed to taste exactly like coffee that I haven't tried yet. So
Is
I'm
it mud
gonna.
water?
It's I no, it's I think they made it out of mushroom or
Okay.
something, or it's called like not coffee or something. I'm gonna buy
Okay.
it. I'm gonna try that one too because as coffee drinkers, we need something to get us going. But
Yeah.
I ultimately would like to transition off pure caffeine.
Mm.
I just need a replacement. For every addiction, you need like that replacement. So I do want just a healthy alternative.
I got you. I have I'm gonna send you something. I got these zero in tablets. They
Okay.
they come with caffeine in it, but it's
Yeah.
not from the cocoa bean, it's from the cocoa leaf. So
Oh,
it's androgynous and it's like it's different. It's way healthier. It's way
okay.
healthier. But the
Okay.
whole supplement is designed to aid with regulation of hormones and brain focus and energy and everything. And I
Good.
think
Yeah.
that potentially it would be a good combination for you to help if wean you off coffee if that's your goal,
Yeah.
because it gives you that caffeine, but it gives it to you in a different format. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
gonna send you after we finish. I'm gonna send you a couple links and hook you up because I'd be curious to see what your experience is like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Because I
I want to see the fibroids go away completely. Like I want to, you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. I want because the problem was is they wanted me to do because mine are so I have three and because they were so big and where they were positioned, I didn't have all of well according to them I didn't have all of the options that someone else would just kind of minor ones or small ones would. So they were either suggesting like the full on hysterectomy, of course,
Of
um,
course.
possibly something called the UFE, the uterine fibroid embolization, or something like that, which is basically they would try to go in and cut off the blood supply in hopes that it would just shrink.
Right,
But
right,
that's only if, depending on the sizing and positioning of mine, if they could even
right.
do that. And I knew I didn't want to do the hysterectomy, not just because of, I don't want to be in the hospital doing a hysterectomy, but also the recovery time. I was like, I can't take this time off work, unfortunately. Like
Mm,
and then who's gonna take care of me? I live by
right.
myself. I don't on anyone. It's so many things around it. And then people that I've known people who've gotten it and then it still grew back
Yeah,
because they
yeah,
didn't solve the root of how they got it in the first place,
yeah.
which was my food. So if it's like if my food got me here, can't my food fix me?
Mm, yeah.
Or choices, like if
Mm,
bad food choices got me here, can't good food choices help fix it?
100%. See that right there is one of the things that I despise the most about how the healthcare system works. Surgery is always their first option,
Yeah.
and it should never be the first option. It's
Yep.
women have gotten their entire wombs and their all of you know what I mean, all of that just ripped out of them just because a doctor says that'd be your best option, but you
Yep.
ain't tried no other option.
No other option. No other
It's
option.
it's
No.
so frustrating. It's and and here's the part, because I've talked to so many women that have had this issue or even had the surgeries. They're like, Chris, I was in so much pain. I was just
Yeah.
happy. And I understand that. Like I get it. But it's
Yeah.
like nobody even attempted to tell you there was another option though.
Exactly.
Because if you would have had the option of, okay, do this juice fast for 30 days or have a life altering hysterectomy, which one
Right.
would you choose? And I'm almost certain that every single one of them women would have just chose the juice fasting. you
Yes.
know?
That when I was like, I don't want to do that at all. I don't. I'm a punk for hospitals and procedures and pain and sir. I don't want any parts of any of that. If you're telling me that pretty much how I eat has made me this way, then we're gonna try to fix this another way. Then there has to be some food that'll fix me.
That's
That's that.
that's that's excellent. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so happy for you.
Thank
Like
you. I'm
I'm
so
yeah,
excited.
because it's so frustrating for me, because when I learned this information, I was like, I was on top of the world. I was telling my whole family.
Yeah, I was like, he's not gonna remember me because I've been lurking for like 9 years. Like I just feel like I was lurking. Okay, it
Yeah,
wasn't that long. It was a long time. I was like, he's not gonna remember who I am. But
nah, I definitely remembered. Yeah, but like people will hear the information and they'll either be like, "Oh, that's probably not going to work," or "Oh, I can't do that," or blah. They'll make up some excuse. And I got really upset because I was like, "Dang, people don't want to hear this." You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's not the truth they want to hear.
yeah,
Um, and so then you meet people, especially now later, years later, I meet so many women who've had
yeah,
these surgeries, and I'm like, dang, man, I wish, you could have got the information sooner. So,
yeah,
so for you to be able to have gotten the information, because even if you didn't apply it at the time, now that
yeah.
it became super important for you, you knew
Yes.
there was another option.
I knew it worked. I knew it worked then. I knew it worked now. It was just like, as you said, getting going. You have to get to a place. You have to get to your desperation. You have to get to your rock bottom. You have to get to, I know a lot of people say like you have to have a strong why. Nah, you got to go beyond a why. You have to go way beyond a why if you're gonna tackle like addiction and habits and mindset changes. Like you have to go beyond just having a strong why. It has to be a downright desperate situation, even if it's vain like mine. you know, it has to be a desperation there.
It's funny you say that. We used to do our 40-day classes live. We still have our 40-day classes available for anybody who's interested. You just go to ahawellnessacademy.com, go to the shop, 40-day classes in there. And one of the things Steven used to say, because we would vet everybody who came into the class, we would vet you because we
Yeah,
wanted people who were going to be successful.
yeah,
And one of the things that was like a trigger for him to invite someone to join the class was if they
hmm
had a sense of desperation,
hmm
which sounds bad, right? It's like,
yeah,
it
yeah.
always is looked at as a negative thing, but in this
Uh,
context, it's necessary.
it's necessary because you
Yeah.
have to. Like I said, that rock bottom. That's what it was because that I couldn't. I was just existing, and I think you guys even touched on that in the call a little bit yesterday or the live yesterday. Like I was just existing. It was no quality of life. I'm just hiding from everybody all day long because I don't want to be seen, but yet doing the exact same thing that's keeping me in the same cycle.
Mhm.
It was sad. It's like I'm sad because I'm looking like this and feeling like this, and then I'm feeling the sadness or trying to with food, and it was just like repeating and
Yeah.
making it work. The
hmm
same thing that I'm using to soothe me is also killing me,
Yeah.
taking my hair out and growing fibroids in my stomach, and like crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy,
To the point where as a young woman, your quality of life is similar to, a 60 or 7-year-old woman. The
horrible.
you know what? I want to extend to the audience because I'm not sure when this video is going to come out, but I'm gonna see. I think I'm gonna get it out in time. But I want to extend opportunity because we just launched our R72. That was like kind of the call last night was announcing it.
Yeah,
And if anybody is seeing this and they're inspired by what you've been able to accomplish, I mean, 30 days,
30
right?
days.
Like 30
Mhm.
days was all it took to literally change the course of your life.
Yes,
And that's what we're doing in the R72 is we're basically putting together a very structured ABCDEFG outline for people and helping them to understand the pros and cons of fasting and all the things you might go through.
yes.
And we're gonna be doing live coaching and all that type of stuff in there. So if you guys are watching this and maybe you just don't feel comfortable doing what Jenny's been able to do because she's been around for a long time, absorbed
Very
a
long.
lot of information.
I've
Uh,
tried and failed. So
huh?
even I said, and I've tried and failed a lot of times. So even
Right.
I keep going.
Yeah. So yeah. I'm gonna put a link in the description or in the comment section for y'all. I would encourage you guys to come and join.
Yeah,
But
October, right?
October 15th, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm that one too, because you got to keep me accountable, and I need to be fine for the holidays. I can't come off the holidays fluffed up.
You're about to do it at Thanksgiving.
Right. I got to be the fine auntie at Thanksgiving.
It's
I'm not fluffed up. I'm not doing it.
That's so funny that you like the timing of everything. Like, because we were literally just talking about that yesterday.
I was watching it. I'm like, I feel you, Steve. I'm not showing up. looking crazy. I'm not doing it. No, no.
Everybody, everybody's gonna be like, "Dang, girl, you look good." It's
Yeah,
a good feeling.
it is. It
Yeah.
is.
All right. So what I wanna do is catch up with you for sure. Probably maybe probably around the beginning of the year because I
Okay.
wanna get an update from you.
Um, okay.
You know, especially once you get a chance to talk to your doctor, and I also want to see like how they're gonna react
To the
because
yep.
yeah, because like usually in their head they don't even think these options are available.
No, they were pushing hard. I mean, even trying to get me on like a deadline to and trying to scare me with the transfusion thing. They were like, because basically my levels had dropped so low that they didn't even understand how I was still walking around. My
Wow.
hemoglobin, which is why they rushed me to the ER. And so like I remember my doctor's exact words to me was, you're gonna have to decide because we can't give you a transfusion every 6 months.
Right.
And it's like, but y'all not giving me no other like either. You know what I mean? Like
There's
I don't
no
want to
other
lose.
options.
Yeah, yeah,
Like what's the decision you have to make? Oh, to get the surgery. Like what other options are y'all given?
yeah,
They
yeah.
they didn't even say, "Hey, maybe you should go see a nutritionist or anything." Like
No,
crazy.
no.
I
So
want you to go. I want you to go in there, and I need a story. I need you to
yeah,
bring me a story.
yeah. Because my weight is down and the fibroids have shrank a little bit. I know my levels are up because if they weren't up, my hair wouldn't be growing back. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I know for sure. I have physical signs that I know it's better. I
Yeah.
know it is. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, for sure. Like, I'm so excited. I'm just
me. Thank you so much. You guys have been such a saving grace and a safe place, for me. So I really appreciate all that you do. And I know sometimes, it's rough dealing with us and, you feel like you did enough, especially when we kind of fail a little bit. But like, I really do appreciate all you guys, you, Steve, Jazz, Shell, like everyone, every post, every encouraging word, every video, even the other team members and community members, they're so supportive and encouraging. Like, you guys made it easier. It's tough, but y'all made it a lot better. It could have been
good.
worse.
Right, right. That's good. That warms my heart. Listen, if anybody is out there, I I know y'all are inspired. I know you're inspired. Like just take that inspiration, use it, start working, just make a plan. Now, hey, listen, now I'm gonna tell y'all, don't just jump out there and start just do your juice fast tomorrow because I know that's how y'all think. You know what I mean? Come get some more information so that you could do it properly. And then that way you can be successful and you don't have to do the yo-yo thing. You know what I mean? You can just knock it out of the park the first time. But yeah,
Yeah,
come in and work with us. That's what we're here
yeah.
for. Do you have any last words you want to share with the community before we rock out? Did
Um.
you want to share any like social media or anything? I don't know if you want to.
Oh,
But
I'm my name on everything. Jenny M. Christian. Christian spelled like the religion. JEIM Christian. And so yes, so you can follow me everywhere. I'm on everything. And just know that your journey doesn't have to be perfect. Just don't seek perfection. Seek progress and do
mm,
it in your give yourself grace. Give yourself some grace on the journey.
okay. You up here playing Jasmine's role tonight, huh?
Oh,
Don't
that's I'm
don't
a good
seek perfection, seek progress. Okay.
that's meant to be. I want to be jazz.
Yeah. Listen,
Tell
this has been
I love her notes and stuff. So
they're incredible. Um, make sure y'all join AHA communities. I'm gonna put the link for that in the chat as well. That's where we're gonna be hosting the challenge, and that's it's our platform. You know what I mean? Like Facebook, they don't even let me talk to people on Facebook. So come over there to AHA communities,
yeah,
join the R72, and before the end of the year, let's get ready. Like a lot of people like to wait till the end of the year and then do the New Year's resolution. Start now. That
yeah,
way you have a running start when the new year begins.
Yeah, and it won't be so hard to transition into it because it's
Yeah.
so overwhelming to try to change everything at one time because that's how you fail. It's,
Yep.
preparation is really important.
Yep.
Mind,
And take your time,
yes,
you know.
grace. Please give yourself some grace. It does not have to be perfect.
Yeah. Well, listen, this has been incredible. I'm glad that we finally got to meet and have this interaction. I can tell you right now, this video is gonna blow up. So,
Oh, thank you for having
yeah.
me. Made
Oh,
my day.
hey, it's
But
my pleasure. Trust me. Um, if you guys have not already subscribed, I don't like subscribe. I know you get caught up. You get caught up in the video. You're like, oh, this is so good. Subscribe, like the video, and as always, the application of knowledge is power. And we will see you all next time.